Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to continue our Edgerunners Inc. series. Previously we talked about the most dangerous solos, but what about Netrunners? Opposite of solos, Netrunners prefer to hack their way in and explore the net, and actually use viruses to hack human augmentations and various other things. We're going to go and check them out, maybe even get some ideas for your character when Cyberpunk 2077 comes out. The first one on the list is Grateful Cone, aka Ghost Rider. Yes, he's actually called like that. He is one of your classic combat netrunners. Now, Ghost Rider is also extremely skilled in Aikido. He is actually a master in that martial art. He was born as a nomad, and his sister Jade and brother Ice went to fight in South America, while he managed to get into Texas A&M University, even getting a scholarship. He actually first started as an Aikido master while honing his netrunner skills. Now, after the war in South America ended, his brother and sister both survived, but they didn't come home. That's why he started tracking them through the net and actually went all the way to Bangkok where he found them. They started working together, going back to pack once a year. He generally grabs any job he can because his lifestyle is expensive. As you can see from the image, he's giving you that slick, cool kind of a vibe. His main concern is maintaining that famous edge. He fears the days that his programs run 1 nanosecond slower, the day his well-placed strike lands half an inch off point. So generally, I wouldn't mess with him. He also likes to give back to the pack, and that's something that is going to be interesting in Cyberpunk 2077. If you are a nomad, if you work with nomads, is there going to be something where you actually have to give back some of the eddies you earned actually to the nomad pack, because that's actually how they operate. They're all brothers and sisters. Next up on our list is Shelly Simpson, aka Daemoness. She is more of your keyboard warrior jockey. She doesn't go out in the field to actually attack something, but staying behind to handle everything from the safe location. She grew up during the turbulent 80s and went to finest schools and camps because her family was one of the rare ones that didn't have setbacks during those times. She graduated with a degree in cognitive science. She actually studied with a young Janice Grubb and became close friends. Shelly was then hired by Kenjiri Technologies, working in software design, writing programs, etc. Now, her friend Janice went to work for the internet, but they still stayed friends. Tsuneta Kenjiri, who she worked for, actually found out about this and said to her, "Tell us what Grubb is doing and keep your job. Don't and you will be fired." She complied to talk about her even though she hated it, but her job was on the line. Now, when Janice told her about the IG programs she was working on, Shelly didn't say anything. But then she was fired, and her boss actually transmitted copies of her betrayal to Janice, and Shelly was blacklisted from the net and pretty much everything else. And after years of struggling, she was actually able to retrieve some data that was lost for a certain fixer, and she actually managed to get a job from him. Then she became a Daemoness that we know, who is open to hire and can get the job done. I mean, she's not particularly great as a netrunner, but still does everything with utmost detail and precision. She avoids physical contact with people and handles everything over the net or other people. Next up is Razors. Her real name is unknown, and she grew up in an American home of Japanese corporate managers. So in a sense, she learned the other lifestyle, like that old strict Japanese one and the modern US one. And because she was generally alone, she turned to the net. Net was only a year old when she got onto it, meeting new people while being there. Then she decided to leave home and learn to live on the move, honing her skills and learning from other netrunners. As you can see in the image, she has a chem skin, which is a web of circuitry around her throat and face, only visible when she feels great emotion. Now, after years of doing petty net jobs, she was hired by a police officer to run a data fortress for him. While doing so, she was identified. Basically being hunted by a corporation, she was hiding from their attacks. That's when Yakuza Fixer offered her a job, and now she is on their payroll, even though she says they don't own her, she's just on a payroll. Generally, she takes jobs more seriously now, and when she's offered a job, she will listen until the end, but think very long if she is going to actually take the job or not. Razors moved a lot from her past self, being more cheerful, because usually she's quiet when antagonized or frightened, but now those things are changing. Next up is Stick, a very interesting netrunner. As a child, he was abandoned and brought up in a nursing home. And because he is slightly deformed and disabled with a bent spine and twisted leg, which ultimately makes him limp and have strange body movements. And because of that, he became a loner and he tried everything, to make friends with everyone he meets. And because of constant rejections, he stayed home in his basement, and that's when he realized that he has a talent to modify, build computers and work on various cyberdecks. That's why he was constantly present on the net, making him look different and living out his fantasy life and, down to having parents and a boxing career. Which makes this thing kinda sad. Usually people fictionalize details about their life if it's really bad. He usually works from his home, he rarely comes out. His work pattern is working 48 hours straight and then passing out for about 24 hours. He doesn't take that many jobs, usually keeping a healthy stream of income. Generally, he still tries to impress people and befriend them, even to the point where he would do something illegal just so he could be friends with them. He's doing jobs so that one day he can get enough eddies so he can replace all of his deformed body parts. And the last on our list is Fixie. Now, Fixie is an incredibly skilled netrunner that actually does jobs just for the fun of it, not to make money. Why? Well, because Fixie is a child prodigy and a product of a French corporate family. She was schooled in the best possible places, but on the side, she was really on the net. She loved the net running and just going into the wilds of the data space. After working as a freelance netrunner for 2 years, she wrote a daemon compilation routine that could aid people in programming, which earned her a fortune with millions and millions, also bringing her a permanent lover / bodyguard who is one of the top female Euro solos named Mahoney. That's why she takes illegal jobs now. She doesn't actually need money, she just enjoys challenge, looking through the data fortress, leaving no steps behind, even sending her own, daemon programs to scout ahead. And this is basically everything on the list regarding netrunners. Next time we're going to look at techies and why their knowledge is extremely important for the dark future. Thank you for watching, everyone. Don't forget to tell me down below which netrunner you like the most, and click that like and subscribe button for more Cyberpunk lore videos, and join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. I also have a Patreon page. If you wish to support me there, it would mean a lot, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.